So we got one of our brothers, from the motherland, and he wanted to put a lot other African brothers on game about, a lot of the white women that's coming down to the African continent and trying to be with them all of a sudden. There's a certain type of white woman that go over there and try to be with them. Let's go ahead and listen what the brother has to say.
When they start losing their looks, when they start losing their access, losing their, just position in society, then they have to go somewhere. That's why they typically end up in black African spaces. Or if they start dating African guys from early, young, oftentimes it's because they don't fit the beauty standards in their communities. So they insert themselves in African spaces, and then you start hearing the pidgin English, the cornrows, the targeting African guys in Africa for the most part, not African guys in Europe. So that's why your African brothers see those beautiful women, but the beautiful women do not want your African brothers. They might sleep with them here and there, but they don't date them. They don't date them because they understand the social implications. They understand all that's attributed to that. They go for the best of the best, which for the most part is not your African brothers. They remember your African brothers when they clock 40 and 50. They remember your African brothers when they hit 60 and 70. That's when they remember your African brothers though.
Now, what this brother has to say, it also translates even in America as well. Because he said that basically when no man in their community want them, when they're either, bad built, when they are out of the age range that they men want them, here they come to brothers. They'll bring their kids to brothers. And some of these brothers will take on those women. But yet if it was another black woman in the same exact position, he wouldn't take her on and her kids and everything that go along with that. They come down to brothers because let me tell you the main reason why they actually try to go to brothers. And it's not just, white women. It's women of other communities as well that's considered kind of outcasts at times. They know, especially with the white woman, they know a lot of black men, unfortunately, will give them a pass that they won't even give black women or African women. And they will, because they look at them in their mind, because unfortunately we have a lot of anti-black, anti-African, self-hate that's in us. That's why we do it. And on top of that, a lot of black men globally have low self-esteem. The reason why a lot of black men globally have low self-esteem is due to one thing: finances. Show me the brother who got his paper up and have low self-esteem. It's not even happening. Most of the time, these brothers that have low self-esteem, his paper is not where he feels it should be. So when a brother don't have the paper where he feel he should be, and most men are not saying, I want to be millionaires and billionaires. They just want to be good enough where they can pay all their bills, take vacations, buy any car they want, buy houses they want, do anything they would like to do and still have money left over. Like I said, when a man say, look, for some men, it could be 250,000, 500,000. Man, I'm good with that. I ain't got to have no millions. Trust me, most men ain't thinking about no millions. But if this man is only making 20,000, 30,000, right, all the same equivalent in, let's say, African nations, and that man not where he at. So then you have this European white woman coming into definitely those African countries that have a higher currency than what he has. And she is willing to go down there and trick off on this brother. The sisters in his homeland is not going to trick off like Becky from London or Karen from Brussels is going to go trick off, right? So yeah, they'll go lay up with these women and be with these women for a lot of the reason is they want them to go ahead on and just fund their lifestyle. Some of those men give up. I also seen, especially in the continent, I've seen a lot of those men give up. So being with women like that is a lifeline. It's just not the African continent. Look at the Caribbean, especially Jamaica. You got these brothers running around here, just 3 or 4 in themselves out with Karen and everything else that come through there from Europe, so they can get some money. If those men had their paper up, they wouldn't be on no beach every day trying to see if they could lay around with these people and do God knows what with these people. They wouldn't do that. So that's why I'm a big believer of black men, Caribbean men, African brothers, hustle hard, get your paper up so you won't even be having to deal with nothing like that. Because trust me, if they had paper, do you really think they would be dealing with those women that this brother's talking about? No. They'll be dealing with the women if they own country that's like higher caliber. Those women only come to men like that's just basically broke. They couldn't even get access to the men of any country they got their paper right. So if you know that kind of woman got the audacity to approach you, then it lets you know, like, okay, what she see about me to show low self-esteem and broke? Now, I will say too, they a little bit more bold with it. So even though you are maybe a high caliber man, some of them will try you, but you put them in their place, like, how dare you approach me? Like, what do you think this is? You know what I'm saying? Then they get their feelings hurt real fast. But you brothers can actually put them in their place a lot quicker in Africa, or African nations, let me say, than what you can get away with when they kind of, running things here in the United States. But brothers, have some pride. Have some pride. Have some self-esteem about yourself. Don't let them women that's cast out by their own men try to go down there with you. You hustle hard, get your paper up, and that's just it. And get a woman that you want. Because think about it, when you get your paper up, most men don't get the same women when they didn't have no paper at all. But it should offend you that they coming down there hollering at you. It should offend you. Some of these women old enough to be your grandma and trying to holler at you. No.